Namaste. Hello everyone. Welcome to Shal Gulhati, Shiva and Mysticism for another episode of Monday with Mahadev. Today I am going to share with you something which I found very interesting and now have made a sort of session program where I do my sessions with people who want to learn about Shiva. I have made that into a small program. Over the years of my study of Shaivism and Hinduism, and of course, major world faith and spirituality, I observed that specifically in Hinduism, we seem to have some things in quartets. For example, we have the four main kinds of paths to God. That is a quartet. We have Karma Marg, we have Bhakti Marg, we have Gyan Marg, and we have Raj Yoga, which is the Dhyan Marg. And we have, let us say, four types of relationships with God, like the Das Marg, the Satputra Marg, the Sakha Marg, and the San Marg. We have four yugas. We know we have Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kal Yuga. We have four castes. We have the Shudras, the Vaishyas, the Kshatriyas, the Brahmins. We have four Vedas, the Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, and so on. I noticed this quartet in many aspects which are key words and key terms of Hinduism, and I decided to sort of tabulate them, make a chart, and see if in any way what corresponds with what or makes more sense if we coordinate the two. So that list is quite long. It contains 16 quartets that I shortlisted, which means 64 words. But today I will share with you at least 2 or 3 of those quartets. So I have tabulated this as quartet terms in Hinduism, and I will read out the first couple of them or 3 of them and share with you. Those of you who are interested can contact me later on my Facebook page or my YouTube page, and we can learn further. So beginning with the 4 kinds of main paths of worship, of getting to God, and we have done this before, but I will repeat it for you because I took this as the base. What are in Hinduism notably the 4 main paths to approach God? And we have Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Dhyan Yoga. Karma Yoga, as we know, is the path of selfless service. It is for those people who believe in action. It is for those people who see God in their own selfless service to others. So a Karma Yogi is one who's maybe a great engineer, a great doctor, a great soldier, and so on. And he does selfless service for others, and he hopes that God, nature will be pleased with this, and that is his way of worship. These are the ones who know that work is worship. Then we have Gyan Marg, which is typically Adi Shankara's method, the philosopher, the Socrates, the Plato, the Aristotle. Their path is to rationalize things. They are not just happy with action in the world of action. They want to know what is it that is behind all these actions and why do we do these things. They are the ones who wonder about, is there consciousness? Is there a God? Are we connected? Why creation? How creation? So they are the Gyanis. They mentalize things. They think about things. They rationalize them. And this in itself is a kind of yoga, a kind of worship for God when we are philosophical about Him, when we do what is called Sat Tark, discussion on the truth. And then we have Bhakti Marg, which is the most famous the world over. And that is for us who say, well, you are God and I love you, and that is about it. They are the ones who go to mandirs, to temples, who pray. And Bhakti Marg has its further subdivisions. which we will touch upon. You can have a bhakt like Meera. You can have a bhakt like Radha. They both loved Krishna, they worshipped him, but we all know that the worship, the love was a little different. In the case of Meera, it was literally, you are God and I am your creation. In the case of Radha, it was, you are my friend, you are my Sakha. And last we have Raj Yoga, the royal path, which is also called Dhyan Marg, the meditator, the one who does not only say Om Namah Shivaya, but who says Shivoham. I am not separate from you, my Lord. And he closes his eyes in deep repose of dhyana, meditation, and tries to see that if it is true that we all come from the same one consciousness, which in Shaivism is called Shiv Tattva. So, when I have placed them like this, Karma Marg, Jnana Marg, Bhakti Marg, and Dhyan Marg, the next quartet, which is of the relationship that you can have with God. So we have Das Marg, Satputra Marg, Sakha Marg, and San Marg. Das Marg is the most common. When we worship God, to think of God as our Master, our Swami, our Lord, and ourselves humbly at His feet like His creation, or in some cases even people think of themselves as Dasa, as the servant of God, which is a very fair thing for them to do. So, Das Marg for me corresponds with karma, because here is the person of action, and this person's action is that you are the Lord and I am your servant, and I will do everything in your name that honors you, that is worthy of you. But then we have Satputra Marg. There is this person who rationalizes things that, well, I am not just the servant of God, He's not just the creator and I'm His creation, He's the master and I am a vassal. No. If He is the creator, I can have a better relationship. I can be His son or His daughter, His child. Satputra, I am a son of the highest truth. So this is another way of looking at things. The most famous example here that comes quickly to mind was Jesus. And I place this in Gyan Marg because this is a person who does rationalize his own relationship to begin with God. We have Sakha Marg, which is, Sakha means friend, which is to say that a person like Radha tells Krishna that I am your friend, you are my friend. And it can be, as I said in another video, it can be male to male bonding as well. It can be Sudama and Krishna and so on, Nandi and Shiva. So I place Sakha Marg very easily under Bhakti Marg. To be somebody's friend is a kind of emotional relationship. So we can see how Sakha Marg, the relationship of Sakha, comes easily to correspond with Bhakti Marg. And in the end we have San Marg. San means same, the same consciousness. I am the same as you, I am non-different. It is like the peak of Radha's worship. It is said that once Radha was missing Krishna and she thought so much about him that eventually she saw that she had become Krishna and crying for Radha. So Radha herself was saying, Radhe, Radhe. This is called San, the ultimate, when you are the same. And of course, this easily corresponds with Dhyan Yoga. In the same way, we have 5 kinds of proximities with God. We have Saloka, Samipa, Sayuja, and Swarupa. Saloka, to be born in the same planet as God. We in Shaivism believe that Lord Shiva resides in Kailash, he's earthbound. And Saloka, therefore, if we are born on earth, on Prithvi Loka, we are already Saloka, we are already born on the planet where God resides. And the next stage is Samipa. We are not only born in the planet where God resides, but we are, let's say, in India, where Kailash is very near us. We are Samipa, we are near to Shiva. And here we notice that Saloka is gross, and Samipa is a little more subtle. Then we have Sayuja. We are joined, Sayuja, to be yoked with God. That's the next level. And this, to me, corresponds again with Bhakti Yoga. And finally, we have Swarupa. We are not only joined to God, we are in His image. We are almost the same. And then there is a point, especially in meditation, in dhyana, when there is no two, there is only one. We are meditating on Shiva and we realize that there is only Shiva. There is no Shal or Peter or John or Rakesh. So that is the ultimate. And here we see again this fourth quartet corresponds with what we call Dhyan Yoga. And this goes on, and I realize that we can do this with the 4 types of Vedas, the 4 types of yugas, the 4 types of castes that we have, and it gives a whole new meaning. It is a very interesting thing. And the 4 types of koshas, the sheets of the human being. There are actually 5, but I used 4 here. And this goes on and corresponds very well with everything. And eventually, for my own understanding, I took the 4 gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, which is Shiva, and Ma Durga, and tried to see not which quartet they fit in, but which quartet must have come from them, which part of the quartet must have come from them. So I found this very interesting, that we can classify most of the things in Hinduism in a quartet, So, and then if we not just classify them, we try and see how they correspond with each other, a whole lot of things become very clear to us. It is, in my case, a total of 64 tabulations. For somebody else who's a very efficient yogi, very profound thinker, there could be many more quartets which I may have missed out. I hope you like this very interesting discovery. If you're interested in knowing more, just message me on my Facebook page. And in any case, join me again next Monday, and I will be back with another Shiva wisdom for you. Om Namah Shivaya.